Why does this guy have a lance sticking out of his eye? Well, it's time for a history hot tip. When you think of the Middle Ages, you probably think of horrible diseases like the Black Death, which killed millions in Europe during the 14th century. But when people weren't busy dying from plague, war, or famine, they liked to live life to the fullest, which meant they also had a lot of fun with medicine. This is a medical illustration from a 1498 book on cures for various illnesses. The book was popular in both Europe and the Middle East and was translated into many different languages. So let's see what kind of medical marvels it has to offer. We've got a lot of bloodletting going on here. Bloodletting was the dominant theory of medicine from ancient times through the Middle Ages and even into the 19th century. Basically, the idea was that illness was caused by an imbalance of the body's humors, which were thought to be the four basic elements: earth, air, fire, and water. To treat these ailments, one had to balance these humors, and bloodletting was one of the most common ways to do so. Here, a patient is having their blood drawn with a lancet, which was a small, short knife. The blood is then put into a bowl, which will later be used for a leech to suck the blood back into the patient. Leeches were thought to be a good way to stop the bleeding after an injury, but they could also be used to treat things like headaches and even blindness. And yes, they were used for centuries to treat everything from baldness to warts. But if lancets and leeches weren't your thing, there was always mercury. In the 15th century, a physician named Parmesis recommended rubbing mercury on the eyes to cure them. Yikes! Mercury is highly toxic and can cause blindness and death. But maybe he was onto something. Today we know that rubbing the eyes with certain antiseptics can help get rid of pink eye. And who doesn't love a good antiseptic? But if you want to feel better fast, nothing beats a good herb. That's right. Medieval medicine was full of herbal remedies. Herbs like lavender, rosemary, and sage were used to treat everything from headaches to digestive problems. Sometimes these herbs were brewed into teas, while other times they were made into a syrup to help soothe a cough. And while these herbal remedies may sound natural and therefore good, it's important to remember that many of the recipes included things like poisonous mushrooms and toxic plants. So it was a bit of a gamble whether you'd be cured or just plain dead. Finally, no look at medieval medicine would be complete without mentioning astrology. Medieval doctors believed that the positions of the planets and stars at the time of your birth had a major impact not only on your personality, but also on your health. So a skilled astrologer was also a skilled physician. So from leeches to mercury to astrology, medieval medicine was a wild ride. But it wasn't all bad. Many of the herbal remedies used today have their roots in the Middle Ages. So next time you feel like you're coming down with something, just remember it could have been much worse. You could have been in the Middle Ages. For more ways that the Middle Ages were both nasty and cool, stay tuned for more information.